Now tell me, in your research, did you find out why these warning signs were ignored?
Well, look, it's it's very it's a very difficult thing, because obviously politics would be a big part of the reason. Ideological differences in the tripartite alliance, ANC, SACP, and COSATU, for instance, that would be one major reason. For a long time there was people saying Eskom should be partly privatized. Up to 30% of Eskom should be privatized. Now, in that tripartite alliance ruling in South Africa at the moment, the SACP and COSATU are very decidedly anti-privatization of any form. So for a couple of years, that can was just kicked down the road, decisions weren't taken, and eventually I think we just sort of bumbled along until 2007, the lights went out. So that would be a very big part of the reason, why no decisions were really taken.
Now, you mentioned just now that there are warning signs now that you hope are not ignored. What are those warning signs?
Well, one real, very serious one to me, which is, it's black on white, and it's been mentioned in Parliament, official replies by the Minister even this year, and it comes down to the build program. So we're currently building, and I'm speaking about baseload electricity, which is the minimum bare amount of electricity the economy needs to work. So when the hospital needs power, it must work. Right. When the mine at 10 o'clock at night needs to drop an elevator, it must be there. So the minimum required baseload. So we're currently building about 11,000 megawatt. Medupi, Kusile, Ngula, 3 massive power stations. They will be completed all 3 by 2021. They should have been completed by 2014. That's point 1. Point 2, 11,000 megawatts. By 2030, Eskom must decommission, close down 14,800 megawatts. That's very old power stations that are simply not up to date anymore. They're heavily pollutant and they're not reliable anymore. These must be closed down. So we're building 11,000, we're closing down almost 15,000. We're not even building enough to replace what must be closed down. There's nothing real happening about beyond the 11,000. So how are we going to grow the economy, meet new demand going forward? I simply don't see it.
Now, does leadership play a part in all of this flip-flopping, it seems, when it comes to the energy crisis we have here in South Africa at the moment?
I think so, yes, absolutely. I think the two major reasons underpinning the whole crisis that I think that we're in, and I do think it's a crisis, even though we do still live in a bit of a fool's paradise because we're not being load shed. I think we're in serious trouble at the moment because of delayed timelines, budgets that are getting extended all the time. We're in a serious situation, and I do think the two most serious reasons underpinning that is leadership and bad planning, bad policy. So Eskom over the last 6-7 years had 7 different CEOs and acting CEOs. We've seen 9 different cabinet ministers in charge of the 2 departments involved with Eskom. 9 people. In total, just the 4 most important positions, in my opinion, which would be chairman and CEO at Eskom and the 2 cabinet minister positions, you've had about 21 different people in 6 years. You cannot implement a program, plan properly, follow it through, hold people accountable, make sure deadlines are met. Every time a new guy comes in, he's got his own people he brings. He's got his own ideas and plans. It's a massive concern, the complete revolving door scenario in key positions. And then the second one would be policy and planning. So our policy and planning when it comes to electricity and energy is hopelessly outdated, inadequate, and every single model that's been used in developing the policy we've got is out the window. It doesn't count anymore, works on growth figures and indicators that are not relevant anymore, and yet this is the policy we're using to develop our plans going forward. It's a massive concern.